He's progressed, has played some. I'd be highly unlikely, but we'll see as he keeps rolling. But I like what our quarterback situation is, but we'll see how it kind of unfolds.
And is Will in a position to be able to play?
Yeah, Will's practiced and Jaron's practiced, and I feel good with where those two are at.
With Will, was that kind of a progression of his, that first one he took on the long run?
Yeah, it was two different ones. The first one where he kind of got whacked out of bounds there, and him and the official flew into their bench. Got him a little bit, and then he on actually a throw that he got off, but got hit pretty hard. He landed, and just the way he landed, kind of both of them the way he landed did it to him.
Pretty much every game this season, in the early drives, you guys have had pretty good success. You didn't score against Stanford, but got in the scoring range.
Yep.
Otherwise, I think it's been a touchdown, field goal every other game. Is there something to that when you have those plays scripted out, things work a little bit?
Well, I think part of it is we feel like going in with a game plan that you got a pretty good idea, and then they make some adjustments. Obviously, I think the other thing is just honestly the first few drives we've made big plays. As an example, at Oklahoma State, all of a sudden we rip a long run off to get us down into their territory. Against Stanford, a couple nice pass plays that got big plays. Each week we felt like we've had opportunities. It's just us making the play.
Is coming up with those catches in tight coverage? Is that what it is?
Oh, well, that's one of the things, we talk all the time about making the 50-50 plays, and we got to be more like 75-25. I didn't feel like last week we were 75-25. Obviously, we were probably the other way.
When a team does what Oklahoma State did to you and shows man coverage, really tries to take away the run, how do you get them out of it?
Well, you got to make some of the plays. As an example, we had a couple post opportunities where it's one-on-one, it's their corner and our wide out, and we got to make them pay. And unfortunately, we didn't. We had a couple other opportunities where we had Deuce cut free a little bit, and against number 20, who's a really good player for Oklahoma State, but he's very aggressive. And Deuce had a little bit of space, but we didn't make big plays off of that. And the problem comes to you're only going to get 4 or 5 of those opportunities. You need to get big plays or points out of those opportunities.
Is it fair to say that connecting on even like 2 of those can kind of force the game?
Would have changed the entire game, obviously, because of how well our defense played in the second half. And that's one of the things we spoke at length to our offensive unit is, guys, it doesn't matter where the score is the first half or the first quarter. It's the belief in our whole program that we'll get it figured out. We'll get ourselves in a position. And offensively, we needed to just go score a touchdown or 2 in that second half, and then that puts you in a position where everybody believes that last drive anything can happen. Daniel's had a good last 2 or 3 days. I would anticipate he's a good chance he would play. I wouldn't see him playing a full game by any means, but I anticipate he'll play.
Last week was kind of a perfect example of one mistake can just magnify and change a game drastically. How hard is it as an offensive coach to get you guys to try to play air-free?
Yeah, that is a huge deal, and the great quarterbacks out there aren't afraid to pull the trigger, aren't afraid to try to put the ball in a small window. As a play caller, as an offensive unit, we continually stress on take care of the football, but you can't be afraid to go try to make a play. And I don't know the exact stats, but I would bet the Brett Favres of the world probably have as many touchdown passes as anybody, but they probably have as many interceptions as anybody as well. And offensively, our bigger deal is we can't have the mistakes that create big plays for the other team, and that's the example. Unfortunately, the dropped snap that all of a sudden ends up getting kicked into the end zone and they get a touchdown. The fumble where they get the ball on the 9-yard line. We can't have those things and put our defense in those types of situations. We got to do a better job taking care of the ball.
And preparing for Oklahoma, how do you weigh wanting to do exactly what you did that was worked the last 2 years, and also knowing that's what they're working on all week?
I think you gotta go into it a little bit, understanding they're going to try to stop the things that you've been successful with against them. But then we also have to go in it with our own mindset of, hey, those things worked, make them stop them. And so it'll be a cat and mouse game a little bit there as far as the play calling goes.
In each of those games, there were stretches where you guys had a roll on offense, scored 21, 28 straight points on them. Just from your perspective up in the box, what was going right and how much fun is that?
Well, anytime you make plays, and that's what it comes back to. If you look at just last year as an example, we throw a very short pass to Deuce. Deuce breaks a couple tackles, all of a sudden goes for, 50 yards or whatever it was. Skylar scrambles around a little bit, looks over to the left, shoots one down the field about 40 yards, and we get about a 60-yarder out of it. We hand off on a kind of an outside zone play. One guy gets. We have about 3 guys make nice blocks, but one guy makes a guy miss and goes for a touchdown. Those are the things that we've got to end up doing is when I'm one-on-one, do I make that play?
How limited did you guys wind up being there for a little bit, not having QB run game really available? Because
Yeah, that obviously in our 3 years we've been here, the games that we've really been successful, the ability to run the quarterback has been big for us, and we're going to need to do that this week. I mean, they're too good defensively to play with only 10 guys on offense. We've got to make the quarterback a threat. So.
Oklahoma State game opening drive, inside the 15, have a blocking miscue and then a missed assignment on a blitz. Those miscommunications, execution error?
The one was just an execution error. The bigger thing for me in that is, we had an opportunity down there and we tried to throw what everybody does, kind of an RPO glance or a slant type route, and they covered us. We didn't make a play, and we've got to make that play. That goes back to the thing we talked a little bit about when you're one-on-one. You need to be able to win in one-on-one situations, and unfortunately that put us then in second long, and second long anywhere is not easy.
Is Jaron more capable of running as a quarterback than you've seen so far?
I think he is. That's not his best cup of tea. Isn't running the football. It's throwing the football. But as he keeps progressing, he's going to need to be a guy that can carry the football as well.
What is Justin Taylor's progress?
I would continue to see him playing more and more. He played more last week than he did the week before, and I think he'll keep getting more opportunity.